What's going on, everyone? John here from The Real Talk, back again with another review. And that is for The Irishman, which is directed by Martin Scorsese and stars Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci. So, this movie has been a long time coming. I believe it got pushed back one time, and it's just been in development for a long time. I feel so because I just been anticipating this film for a long time. This movie was actually in my top four most anticipated films of 2019, right up there with Avengers Endgame, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Simply because Martin Scorsese, he is one of my favorite film directors, or my favorite film director of all time. His movie The Departed kind of, made me a real film fan. I guess I give it credit for being that film that kind of, okay, I saw it, blew my mind in all different, aspects of it and how it was made and stuff like that. But also it kind of just, said, hey, there's other movies other than animation and blockbusters and stuff like that. It was 2006, I don't forget how old I was, but, I was young, I was a young lad. And that movie just, opened up a whole new world for me. And other works of his, The Wolf of Wall Street, even Silence, I really loved that film. And even last year when I watched Taxi Driver and Raging Bull for the first time, those movies just changed my life. I saw them and they became some of my favorite films of all time. Taxi Driver is in my top 10. And that's why I was excited. Martin Scorsese, for me, like I said, he's up there. He's in the Mount Rushmore of film directors, in my opinion. And that's why I was excited, and obviously the cast, right? You got Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci. You even have Ray Romano here, Jesse Plemons, Harvey Keitel. A lot of a great cast in general, but just those three that I mentioned. Joe Pesci has been, out of the game for a while, and he came back, and I guess we can start there, man. There's going to be no spoilers here, so you guys are safe from there. I did get to see it at one of my, I was going to say local theaters, but I had to go to Hollywood at the Egyptian Theater. I went on my birthday, so that was pretty fitting. I saw a great film on my birthday, and I really loved that experience. But so it's coming on Netflix, I believe, November 27th. I might be wrong. If I am, I'm going to put a little thing right here. But yeah. So we're going to start off with the performances. They're all fantastic across the board. Obviously, Martin Scorsese is one of those directors that knows how to get what type of performance out of those actors. And I feel Robert De Niro, he has never been, well, when he shows up, he shows up, right? And obviously some of the roles he's been getting the past few years haven't been that great. But anyways, he was fantastic in this. Al Pacino, I believe personally, he was on fire in this film, and I could not take, every time he was on there, I was entertained. Anytime one of those three main cast members were on the screen, I was, entertained and glued, and that was most of the movie. And Joe Pesci, I miss him so much, and I'm so happy that he did this role, maybe his last role, I'm not sure. Hopefully he's in more stuff, man. But, I want to quickly talk about the de-aging, right? I don't think it was bad. Like I watched the movie and I kind of just was invested in kind of into that world because it was very interesting. The film's very interesting and kind of a place in time and history that I don't really know about and I would like to know a little bit more. So it was kind of educating me. And again, it might be some things might be real, some things might be fake, but still, it's very interesting. So I was kind of enthralled by the story that I kind of didn't really pay attention to all the de-aging stuff. Like you can tell, Robert De Niro is like almost like 65 here. He's like 40 something here, because the film does go, bounce back from, present time back then and even in the future, stuff like that. Again, not trying to give anything away. So you can tell, but for me, it was kind of like, okay, well, he has more white hair here, so he's older, so for me, I think that means that the aging was really well done. I didn't really notice it, and maybe it's a testament to the story, how it's so engaged and stuff like that, and the performances. So all around, I think, that didn't take anything from the performances. That's why I was like, you know what? Is this going to affect, when I'm watching, is this going to affect, me, is going to take me out of the story? And I don't think it did. So if you guys were worried about that, I think you guys are safe. And let's talk about the runtime. It's 3 hours and 29 minutes. Obviously, some of that is credits, but for the most part, you do get a full 3 hour movie and then with some change, And to be perfectly honest, I did feel the movie is a very slow burn, very kind of, there's a lot of development of the characters and kind of explaining a lot of shots. A lot of people have been saying, hey, you can cut off like 20 minutes of it, but I feel like Martin Scorsese is just a master at what he does, and the way he shoots the film, it could be longer takes, but it's also like it's kind of necessary for the story that he's telling, right? Like for him, there's no scene that is unnecessary, that it's not helping the story being told, right? So I think that's why at the end of the day, if you want to tell a story about this guy and kind of his he was kind of a humble guy, and he goes from that, from being involved into the mob and doing some things, and kind of aging and regretting things, and it's just a great story, and the themes and messages are awesome, and some that Martin Scorsese has tackled in the past, but I felt like all the films that he's done in the past are kind of just put into one, in the sense of him knowing what to do with the story and the characters. Like, everything he has done in the past led him to this movie, and again, it's not kind of like a end of an era movie, kind of his last hurrah or whatever, but I feel like you can tell, like, and that's how beautiful the film is, at least in my opinion. So again, going back to my first thought, I think the runtime, you do feel it, at least I did, but I think it's necessary. It's not like, man, those 25 minutes in this scene or whatever, or you pick and choose, and they needed to be cut out. But that's just my opinion. And then to end things off with the filmmaking, again, Martin Scorsese is one of the greatest, and like I was talking about, cinematography was great, shot beautifully. Some of the soundtrack was awesome, some of his music choices and stuff like that, and also the score I thought was really well done. I'm gonna look it up right here real quick to kind of give credit to whoever did the score, and I probably should have already known. Rodrigo Prieto, I probably butchered his name. That's actually the cinematographer. Robbie Robinson, actually, he did the score, and I thought it was really great. It's obviously the Irishman, kind of a mob gangster type of stuff, and it gives it, in the atmosphere that Martin Scorsese brings to the film, it just fits right away, and it's awesome. So on filmmaking level, there's no surprise here. He brings his A game. He directs the hell out of this movie and proves why he's one of the best doing it in the business, and he's probably going to go down in history as one of the best. He's already there. Like I said, in my opinion, he's in Mount Rushmore. But this, obviously adds to his legacy. So, I can't recommend this movie enough. You know what? The runtime, I think it kind of helps the fact that it was going to be released on Netflix, because you can knock out like an hour here, another hour there, stuff like that. Or, you can pause. If you need to go to the restroom, cool. You want to go get some more popcorn, more soda, whatever. You're in the comfort of your own home. I recommend it to go see it at the theaters. I know it's very limited. It's obviously a Netflix release, but it's being limited release in theaters, so it can be up for Oscar consideration. So if it's playing near you, go watch it. I think this movie is worth every penny, and you're not going to be disappointed. But if not, we'll obviously wait for Netflix. The whole world has Netflix, so hopefully a lot of people watch this movie. So again, one of my favorites of the year. It's probably, I can't really remember right now. I think it's my top 5. But anyways, if you guys have seen the film, though, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section down below. But yeah, highly recommend it. Make sure to check it out. And if you guys want to follow us outside of YouTube, you guys can at The Real Talk with 2Ks on Twitter and Instagram, and Letterboxd as well. And until next time, guys, we'll see you at the movies. Peace.